Welcome back to Potentia, Aline, and today I'm sitting with Priscilla Mudiaki.
Hello.
Priscilla is actually a friend of mine. We met a couple of years ago. Was it
Yeah.
2019, I believe, when I joined the Best of
Yes.
Congo? Me, it was 2019 because you were in there before.
Yeah.
So we did used to work for the same. Was it is it a charity?
Yeah.
How can I put that?
It was more like a charity, actually, a community organization.
Yeah.
Congo.
Yeah. So they used to organize this event. We miss it actually.
Yeah.
This big awards event in London for Congolese community. And yeah, that's how we met. And we used to be in the same team, media. And that's how we met. And then since then, we just kept the relationship and we just, kept the friendship going. So today I am so honored to have her on my podcast. It's a bit unusual to have somebody that I know, sitting on my chair, because it's, first of all, me and you, we never speak in English.
No, we don't.
We don't. We actually do speak in French all the time. Yeah. So this is a bit of a challenge for both of us. But we will try not to switch to French.
Yeah, okay. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, let's try.
And actually, do you remember we used to jump into French Lingala
as well,
and then English.
And then English. So
it's like,
funny.
okay, just one language
so
for us
now
today. Okay.
It's one language. Let's stick to English for today.
That's right.
So yeah, if you just tell the audience who you are, what you do, and then we dive more into your journey your journey in London in general, and also how you moved from one country to another. So yeah,
sure. Well, my name is Priscilla. Thank you, Pris. That's how you got introduced to me. And I don't know how to start it, because I'm not going to say I do a lot of things, but the main activity is just that I am a creator and a community manager working for LinkedIn for the UK and Europe region. On top of that, I volunteer as well as a current manager for a charity called Youth Congo.
Yeah.
I think, let's stick to that.
So, creator and content manager at
community
LinkedIn.
Manager.
Community manager at LinkedIn. What does that mean? What is your day-to-day? What is that what's the work page?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to explain in just one sentence. But I'll try. Basically, one thing that I love to say is how my role is about being part of the team, just like you be part of your still for things or video, whatever. So I'm part of the editorial team, and my role is basically to amplify content creators as well as executives on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is still sort of a B2B space.
Yeah.
So the content creators that you usually think about on social media are quite different in LinkedIn. So it would be the experts, the industry experts.
Right.
So I help them, basically I coach them how to elevate their voice on the platform. And I'm literally the sort of the quiet architect, because I'm trying to find ways to amplify their content differently within LinkedIn or outside LinkedIn. And I'm here just to coach them basically to be more present on the platform, because there's just so much potential.
Okay, is this something that you do on the side as well, like to coach people, or you just do it for your...
No, it's just do it just for LinkedIn.
So how does it work if I want to be coached by you? So what? We have to be like an organization and then contacting...
not necessarily. It's just about being active on the platform, just like you be active on Instagram or Twitter. On LinkedIn, usually you have...
X.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Twitter anymore.
It has changed. I can't get used to that.
No, me neither. Yeah, so you were saying, so as in, how does it work if we come to, is it like through an organization and then you're like, oh, I want to be coached by Priscilla? Or...
It's just like as yourself, basically. Everyone has a LinkedIn profile. Let's start from there. Usually you go to LinkedIn when you're about to look for a job. So one thing is that people now get to LinkedIn also because they want to learn from the industry they are part of or want to move into. Let's say you're a student and you want to get into finance. You need to know who are the big people to follow, to know about, or to get as potential mentors on LinkedIn. So that's why you go on LinkedIn, to look at content, look at get inspired by other people in finance. So everyone is on LinkedIn. But usually some people are being more active in the sense that they are also sharing content, or they are interacting with content they see on the platform outside just being jobs. jobs specs.
Right.
They're looking for content because they want to learn something. So these type of people who are active on the platform, these are the people that I can really amplify, I can really help and work with them. So it's not about trying to convince people to get on LinkedIn. This is a hard job, and I don't have time for that.
Right.
But people who are already on the platform, or they want to get started because they're like, oh, actually, you know what? For example, I had a conversation the other day with DJ Kapi, the biggest Nigerian DJ in the world, and she's big. She has like I think 6 million followers on Instagram, 9 million.
Is she based here?
She's based in London. Yeah. 9 million on X. Like she got mad followers. And she was like, okay, she's been DJing for a very long time.
Yes.
But when it comes to her charity work, because she also does a lot of philanthropic work, her passion for advocating young people, the more social impact type of work that she does, she thinks that LinkedIn is the best platform for her to really showcase that and speak to the community who are more inclined to learn from her, that side of her.
Okay.
So yeah, working with her, for example, was interesting because on the platform, then she will be just using LinkedIn to build a different type of community where people are not just fans, but people who are learning from her expertise. I want to get her to speak sometimes at some events, etc. So yeah, that's the type of sort of professional mindset you need to get and have when you want to get started on LinkedIn. And once you have it, you usually it's like a sort of process, and then you can start working together.
Interesting. So as we mentioned before, me and you never really speak in English. We speak in French. So can you tell us, so you from France and then you moved to the UK a few years ago, and how has it been, like, the transition from France to here? Why did you even move? Like, why?
Yeah, that's a good question. Gosh, it's been a decade now, actually, to be honest with you. It's been 10 years since I left France. So I was born and grew up in Paris. And
Oui, Paris.
Voilà, this city. And the thing is, I studied journalism. So journalism was something very important for me. I loved it. I loved telling stories, writing stories. It was just part of who I am. And it was just hard to see that on media, or at least in the French media. It was a bit hard, and maybe we get into that a little bit later, to see myself into this type of aspiring role as a Black woman.
Yeah, and also we're talking 2000 and what? 15,
yeah, exactly.
Which is not the same.
No,
as
it has
now.
changed now.
Back in the days,
Yeah.
wasn't a thing to see a Black woman out there.
It was a bit hard, definitely. Where I've been coming to London for a very long time. Like London it wasn't a big change coming to London, to be honest with you.
Okay.
My mom was 6 months pregnant when she brought me here for the first time. So I have family here. And what I remember coming here so often is how much diversity I could see easily. It's always that, like, it's inspiring. It's inspiring. So I was doing my master, I was doing my degree first in La Sorbonne, and we got this opportunity to just, back in the day, it was called the exchange program, Erasmus. I don't know if it still exists now. But yeah, I did an exchange program where I came to work to study first in the UK, as a way to get myself into moving here, not just coming as a holiday maker, but more for to see a career sort of thing. And yeah, I think I just after studying, I just sticked around because it felt easier to find some opportunities as a Black woman in journalism.
So you started working in journalism when you arrived. No, so you said you studied it.
Yeah.
You studied journalism, and then you started working in journalism back in the days.
Yeah.
But then you switched to now tech, because obviously you work for LinkedIn, and then you work as a community content creator. How and why? And how would that?
I mean, I think there are three main reasons on why I stopped working in journalism. At least in the environments of where the journalism was introduced to me. The first one is a feedback, actually, that I got from an editor-in-chief I was working for. She was French, so maybe it's important as well to mention. But I was asked basically to write down 6 articles a day, and I struggled to do that one day. And she came to me and said bluntly, "You don't know how to write." Ouch! Yeah.
Why would someone say that? Why would you be so mean?
Yeah, no.
And that was
Yeah.
here in the UK.
Yeah, I was here in the UK. I was working for, I forgot the brand of this newspaper.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's fine.
it's
Okay.
just, that comment hit me a lot. And especially because that comment reflected the type of environment you are in when you work in journalism, which is a, an environment that is quite competitive, quite
Yeah.
solo as well.
Oh, would you say that?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I think maybe it's a bit different now, but it is quite a solo job
Okay.
because you don't really you compete with each other most of the time to get the right story. You do your search alone, your own research alone. You do get a team when it comes to production. If you
Yeah.
you get someone who can help you with the video or things like that. But when it comes to as a journalist, you have to do you have to do it yourself, like alone, quite alone. So I guess as I am a people's person, so I think that's also one thing that maybe has fall out for me. Then the second reason why I stopped, I think, is because I I found it really hard to accept the fact that people have to give me feedback on stories I love to write about. Like,
Yeah, because it wasn't necessarily only about what you loved.
exactly,
You
that's the
had to
thing.
write stories about other stuff as well.
Exactly. Like, I
Other
love
topics.
writing for sure, but at the end of the day, you still have, an editor to have the last word and
Of
decide
course.
if the story is worth being published, etc. So I think that creative freedom, being so lost in that news environment, was a bit disappointing for me.
So would you say that journalism kind of like killed your creativity?
No, I wouldn't say it came back. I mean, I think that environment, because journalism now it has different lenses. So when you work for a news outlet, a big traditional news outlet, at
Yeah.
least especially back in the day, yeah, I think my creativity was being lost because I had to just to write what I was told to write about,
Yeah.
or sometimes especially at the beginning when you're no well known enough, you're kind of free to come up with a story and explain that you have to go for it. But when I was such a young person, I didn't really have that sort of confidence. So yeah, I think that was a bit disappointing. And the last reason, let's not forget about this, is money.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were gonna get there a bit later in the interview, but I guess we're here now.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
money.
yeah, you know what? My mom used to say something very interesting to me. I would write everywhere, and she would always ask me, "Why are you writing content or producing content for free all the time?" And well, for me, and I used to say to her, it's just normal.
That's just who I
That's
am.
just
This
who I
is
am.
how
That's
I
just the
do
way it
it.
is. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is. Actually, I think my mom, she saw the future of the industry, especially the creator economy, because now the creator economy is all about being
Yeah.
paid for your content, right? Back in the day, yeah, you wouldn't get paid for that. So the money became quite it's really hard when you just start your career in journalism to really make money in the traditional journalism area. So that's the reason why I found that journalism in that environment was not a path for me.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I've always wanted to be a journalist. I remember back in the days when I was in Belgium, because I'm from Belgium. um, this when I was, when I finished the equivalent of college,
Yeah.
and I had to choose my course. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a journalist because I thought all it took was to just know how to speak. But yeah, it's more than that. Anyways, another
Yeah,
story for
it's a
another
lot of,
day.
yeah. I mean, I still love it. I love it because the investigation part, when you look for, tell a story, you need to fact check everything, especially nowadays where everyone is just
Yeah,
spreading misinformation. Like,
yeah.
journalism is so interesting. It's critical. It is. But just for me, when we just start your career, the money side of it was a big,
Too low.
yeah, it was a big
That's it.
challenge, definitely. So
Especially in this London, because I guess you were
exactly, especially in
sharing.
the
So
city where London is quite expensive. So that's how I moved to actually in the journalism industry. We said the wrong side. I moved to PR.
is there a thing like? Is it still conflictual?
Yeah, I mean,
PR and
nowadays I don't know, to be honest, because
that's fine.
I'm really far from PR now.
Okay.
But yeah, back in the day was like you're moving to the wrong side, you're moving to the enemy,
Really?
and a lot of people would do that. Basically, a lot of journalists when they want to get money, it was the traditional path to move to PR.
Okay.
Basically, when you want to get when you want to get those peers paid off, you get into PR because it's still the media industry. You still deal with journalism, but yeah, different side of it. Yeah, different side of storytelling. So I went to PR very briefly, to be honest, because I found myself in the same challenge where the industry was still quite traditional and very slow to catch up with the digital world that was, moving at full speed, basically. And that's how I got into social media, tech more specifically. I think it's been about 6 years now.
Okay.
I got there, to be honest, by chance. By chance, but it's more about the. I was no, it was still around the media industry, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to still to remain in media, so that's how it made sense for me.
Wow. Okay. Now, oh yeah, because now we work as a creator, so you're not in the PR anymore.
Now,
but would you ever go back?
PR, no. Journalism, yeah. I won't be surprised if one day, yeah.
What is it in journalism that you love so much? Because you mentioned that when you were younger, you used to write everywhere.
Yeah.
And that you used to love the investigation.
I love that
side of things.
I think that's the fact. Like, I found journalism a nice path to bring truth in the world of big lies we are into right now.
I love that. Okay.
It's just so
journalism is a way of bringing the truth in a world full of lies.
Exactly.
Okay. So do you think we're liars?
I'm not saying you're liars. I'm just saying that, you know what? Actually, I did my dissertation around that. The way people consume news or content in general now, it's not through the traditional media, right? It's through social media, which means, so what is social media? It's your friends, your family. So obviously your friends or family are people you like because they are in your environment. So obviously they will give you content that you enjoy, which is not really good for your critical thinking muscles. You need to have different type of views. You need to see everything else to be able to really make your own views and just grow. And unfortunately now, with people just looking to social media where everything's just so filtered, when you cannot get this sort of like different side of a story, it can be very dangerous. And journalism is supposed to be, like quite unbiased, giving you just factual truth. So that's why I think it's it's the way for this world we are in.
Interesting. And would you say that your personal story or your personal background influenced your choices for your career path?
Oh yes, I mean, my personal story is the whole blueprint of my professional career nowadays. How? Well, I think it's because the fact that when I was in Paris, growing up in Paris, and wanted to move into journalism, it was hard to see other Black women in leadership positions or senior positions or just in fields that I am nowadays. It was very difficult. So because I couldn't see that, most of the time my type of role models were basically comic book characters, like Storm from X-Men. She was a badass for me. I was like, oh yeah. That was the closest I could see. I could see of a Black woman leading on TV. This is really sad, but like, thank God now things have changed a bit. But back in the days, my role model was a comic book character. So because of that,
do you know that she's not Black?
What do you mean she's not Black?
I saw that not long ago. I think it was on TikTok. Somebody posted a video that she wasn't. Everybody thinks she's Black, but she's Asian or something.
What the heck? I need to check that. What? You just broke me.
I know, me too. When I saw this, I was like, no, I don't want to believe this because she's been Black forever.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't believe it. So for us, she's still Black. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's just say she's still Black. She's still Black. Oh gosh, but I'll check this out. But yeah, I think because of that, then I became very inspired and obsessed with representation. So I think that's how I get into journalism somehow, because it's all about, I was in media in general, because it's all about for Black girls looking for other Black people or hearing stories, found out new people, etc. So the storytelling aspect of it. So yeah, because of representation was so key to me, I'll natively just get into journalism and And over time, then I got into tech, and more specifically social media. I think it's because I love how the word has evolved, definitely, and online, more specifically, the online format is a nice way for everyone to be able to share their stories. Because back in the day, even just journalism or media was still quite elite. It's not available to everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you moved here to the UK when you were 23 then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was around 23. Yeah. I think so. What happened is that I did my exchange here in Warwick University in Coventry. Don't know if you know this town.
Yeah.
Yeah? How did you know about
Who doesn't know
Coventry?
Coventry?
Oh, really?
And like, who doesn't know Coventry? First of all, there's a very big university there.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
also have a campus here.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, back in the
and-
day they didn't actually. Now, yeah, they do.
and also it's close to Birmingham.
It's good to
so
Birmingham, exactly.
I just know it because my cousin studied there.
Ah, okay.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. Because you know what? That town, for a very long time actually, during World War II, it was completely demolished.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That's why like a lot of people were like, why would you like Coventry is just Coventry.
Okay.
Yeah, but for me it was like it's a lovely city because of the memories I made when I went to Warwick University. It was just incredible. So when I did my exchange here over there, it was good. And then I went back to London to Paris for a year to do my master. And then for my second master, I was like, you know what? Actually, now I want to go to London. Initially, I didn't want to go to London because there's just too many French.
Yeah.
So what's the point? So I wanted to be to the place where I could actually learn
English.
and
That's the thing
evolve.
that I've noticed as well.
Yeah.
You know, when I came here, it's like, why are there so many French-speaking people? It's like you're in the bus.
Yeah.
You can't even be yourself. And it's not that you can't be yourself. It's just like every corner, you just have to be careful of what you say because people are gonna hear it and
They
they're
can
gonna
understand.
and they will understand.
Exactly.
So funny.
Yeah,
funny.
that's why initially I avoided London. When I wanted to move to the country, I knew London was not supposed to be in my
But
list.
then when you go outside London, there's not much diversity.
Well, at Warwick,
Depends where.
yeah, it depends where. Because for me, it was fine. Like,
but you were in Coventry and it was a uni.
yeah. Different. No, definitely.
So
It was different. It was different. Yeah.
I love how you mentioned representation. Would you say that since then it has evolved and even in France? Or do you think it's the same because I know you go back quite often? So
Yeah.
you're not completely detached from Paris or from London. But
Yeah,
would you say
true.
that when you go back and you see, for example, your younger siblings or your younger cousins, you know, they are in school at the moment, would you say that for them they do have more representation than what you
Yeah,
had?
no, definitely it has changed now. And debates are definitely happening. People are pushing for it. Like I don't know if you're aware, but this year more specifically, there were quite popular TV shows like Secret Story and Star Academy, where we got a couple of really good black contestants, and people were pushing for them to become winners because they
Star
were good.
Academy is like, how can you compare it to
Star Academy is a bit like
The Voice?
yeah, it's a bit like The Voice.
It's a bit like The
Type of
Voice.
yeah, just
almost.
just like musical show anyway.
Musical
Yeah,
show,
when Secret Story is like Big Brother. Secret Story is
Yeah,
different.
Secret
Yeah,
Story is
Big Brother. So and the winner was a black woman.
This year.
Yeah, this year. So that was really cool. And people were pushing for that because for Star Academy, so the other show, the finalist was a black woman, but she didn't win.
Because we never win. I mean, even back in the days, remember Hussein? Sorry, to do a little French thing.
Yeah, I
Hussein,
remember.
it was like almost at the end.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
true.
he had a really beautiful voice.
Definitely.
But yeah.
But this is just like cultural pop,
It is.
references. But it does make a difference because of the fact that, yeah, even in the professional world, I do see now more black people definitely, and it does evolve because of the world we are in right now. I mean, we got a Little Mermaid movie with a black woman. Do you see what I mean? Like it's just the way the world is now. However, it's still it's still complicated. I mean, I wouldn't move back to France for my career. I mean, no, I wouldn't personally.
Would you not?
No, I wouldn't. But I know if I had no choice, I would still be able to go and I would still do it because of the career I have right now. But yeah, if it was like 10 years ago, it would have been so much harder. Like now, it will be easier because I have the career. Like I can justify it. I can't say anything to me, even if I'm black. I'm like, they will give it to me. But yeah, so yeah, it has changed a lot. It has evolved, but it's still quite far. I don't want to go political because I can get political in France.
Let's not get
So let's not.
political.
Yeah.
Potentia is not about political views, but I guess we do understand what you mean. We get it. We get it. We get it. Okay, moving on. more into your personal life, is there something that happened to you that has changed your trajectory? So let's say, for example, um, you don't have to go into details, but like, has there been an event in your life, recent or more like in your childhood, that has shaped you, or like has there been like a turning point in your life, a defining moment, more of a defining moment in your life that has made you understand that, okay, wow, you know, I have
Interesting.
to mature.
I think two things. First, moving to the UK actually was a turning point in my life. I did not realize back in the day how it was big for me. But looking back, I'm like, wow, that was big because it changed absolutely everything. My plan was not to come and stay here for so long.
Yeah.
The goal was just to do 1 year or two and then just move back. But the reality is I'm still here. I even became British. And my friends make fun of me because of that. But, um, but the thing is that moving here was big because it made me realize that I can be proud of my heritage.
Yeah.
Because going back to what we said about representation in France, racism was big there. It's still everywhere. But one thing that I was grounded around was how I should be careful not to be too Congolese or too Angolan. I have to make sure to be very French.
To blend.
Yeah, I have to blend. I have to
In.
adapt. That's why I went to the best university. I went to private school and all of that. Like all these efforts to look as you know, politically correct as possible, like as white as possible.
As white as
let's
possible.
let's say it. When I moved here, forget about that. Here, people were communities were celebrities. You could be Pakistani, you could be Colombian, South African. Like you can be both of that as well as being British.
Absolutely.
So seeing those communities being celebrated so openly made me realize I can be French and Congolese and Angolan. So it changed my identity because I was much more grounded into it. Like that's how that's how we met with from
Yeah.
this community work that we did for the Congolese community. I became Congolese when I moved to the UK.
Okay.
It's crazy to
That's
say that.
I understand where you're coming from, but then at the same time, I guess it's not the same for me because Belgium is smaller.
Yeah.
France and also the political views and the racism, as you said, I think it's a bit more in France than
Yeah.
it is in Belgium. Don't know.
What I like about here first when I moved here was the fact that on paper at least diversity looked good.
Yeah,
Where even on paper in France doesn't look good.
it
People will
doesn't.
change your name. If you want to get a job, don't like make sure to try to sound as French as like make your name sound as French as possible. Forget Mohammed, forget Fatimata, forget all of that. I don't get that here. You see me? So on paper, at least it looks
It does.
which basically opens door then for whatever you want to do for your career. At least it did for me. Then it allowed me to get to my community, get close to the community. Where in France, I wouldn't really care about being Congolese because also because there's so many Congolese everywhere. Like it was just like it was just something. It was just a normal thing. But here it made me feel like it's more than that.
Yeah.
We Congolese. Do you
We
know what I mean? You know what I
we
mean?
are. We are.
Yeah. So the
We
UK
are.
made me feel that way. So that changed a lot of things on my identity because I became much more African, I would say.
Confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Very confident about my Africanness. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the UK made that happen. And then now when I go to France, I realized actually it was there. It's been there the whole time.
It's been there the whole
But
time.
I ignored it back in the day because I was so trying to
To please
adapt.
or to adapt, yeah, or to
Yeah.
blend in, as we said
Yeah.
before.
Because now it's even, especially as a Congolese, it's even better in France than it is here. And I was like, oh, it was there the whole time and I couldn't say it.
Okay.
So
It's
yeah,
nice.
tell me.
It's a good
Yeah.
thing that you're saying that it was actually there. So it gives kind of hope
Oh yeah.
to
Yes.
the people who are still there that, yeah, it's
Oh,
there. Just
definitely.
open your
It
eyes
is
and
there. Just open your eyes.
don't blend in, or don't
Yeah.
try to prove to other communities that you still exist because
Yeah.
you're valued.
You're valuable.
You're valued. Again, like, were your expectations when you moved from France to here? Because I remember me when I came, I thought that the UK was the, comment on dit l'Eldorado?
Paradise?
exactly. When I moved from Belgium to here, I thought the UK was going to be like paradise. I thought it was going to be that, I'll be so happy here. I'll be able to do everything I always wanted to do. And then you come here, the reality of London hits you. It hits you. Like, be it the finances, the sharing accommodation, the all of that. Like, I've been so shocked when I when I came here. How was it for you? Because my
Yeah,
expectations were too high. Honestly, I was like
really.
disappointed when I came here.
Yeah, I think my expectations were not that high because,
Mm.
as I said earlier, like I used to come here very often because
I
I have
used to come
family.
here as well, but
Yeah,
we used to be in a family setting, so I
it's
didn't
different.
see
Mm,
all the rest. And obviously, when
mm.
I used to come, I was younger, so I didn't pay for anything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when you come here as an adult, I don't
Yeah,
know.
true. Yeah, when you come here as an adult, but because I didn't expect to stay long anyway, I didn't have
Mm,
any. I don't know. I came. Oh my gosh! If I tell you the way I moved here the first day was just
mm,
like I was thinking about the dissertation I was supposed to handle in Paris. Like I
mm,
was not really into it.
mm,
My mind was not really there. But then after I settled down, I settled down before after a few weeks,
mm,
and yeah, some things really hit me. You mentioned it,
mm,
flat sharing. Let's
mm.
let's basically what shocked me, it's the liberalism culture of the UK.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
going for flat sharing, actually, even my first job was for a flat share company.
Okay.
So it
Mm,
was interesting to hear about that concept of like, yeah, you have to really, really work. It's not really about your degrees here compared to what I experienced in France.
mm,
So in somehow it is good news that you can do whatever job you want,
mm,
but you have to hustle. The hustle
mm.
culture was intense.
It's too much. It's like
Yeah.
we just live to work in this country.
Yes. It was a lot about that. And,
Mm,
you have to flat check because everything was so expensive.
yeah.
Everything. There's no really real help, from the
Mm,
government the way I'm used to in France. So
mm,
it's very liberal. It's very
mm,
liberal. So I think that culture really, really hit me at first because I had to really, really work hard as much as I can to get as much as I could. Like it was just too much work. And then you get through the liberal system made it as well very possible for you to be made redundant quite often. Like
mm.
I was made redundant so many times.
Really?
Yes, that really, really was a big turning point for my career.
But what you, it's scary what you're saying because it's like so many times how?
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like in the UK, just like in America, the liberal system made it easier for employers
To
to
just get rid of you.
get rid of you.
No
That's
explanations
something that would never
whatsoever.
happen in France. In
Mm,
France, the system, the law system, the employee laws are really good, really
mm.
protected. Where here now it's quite liberal. So yeah, 3 times I was made redundant 3 times.
Do
Like
you
yeah,
like? Can you explain
yeah,
like
sure.
why? Why?
And that happened so many times while I was trying to get to be in my career. So it was a long journey because of that. The first time I was made redundant for no reason. To be honest, it's always there's no you can't really justify redundancies.
Yeah, the budget, this,
It's
that.
just like they came. I did everything. I remember. I think it was one of my first big job in a company. After doing an internship, I got everything, and then actually we're not. We can't keep you. Even if we went through the I forgot how you call it. That appointment annual review. Went for the annual review. Everything was good, amazing. And a month later, actually, you're being made redundant. That was the first time.
And also, you're not prepared, so
You're not
it's
prepared.
like what?
I thought it was me.
Yeah.
I thought
Mm,
I blamed myself. I'm trying to build my
mm,
career. I got my first job and then I'm made redundant.
mm.
So I thought it was me. I took it personally.
Yeah, of course you
It
did.
was so hard. It was so
Yeah,
hard
it
the
was
first time,
really
yeah.
hard. Oh, poor
Yeah.
girl.
And the second time that it happened, it was like a big confirmation that I was the issue. I was the problem. That's how I took it.
Really?
That's how I took it because it happened a few years later after I
Mm,
pivoted to PR this time.
mm,
I was in PR and then I think I went for like a very small agency, thinking that maybe working for something smaller would be easier because they have the actual employees that they need to run the business, so they can't
mm.
get rid of you. But no, after I think I did less than a month. I went less than a year, sorry, less than a year, and then they came around and said, yeah, you're being made redundant, and I don't have any more means, blah blah blah. Or sometimes, on the paper they can't say that they are the problem. That's something that I hate about that. They always have to look for something to justify that
Yeah, of
it's not
course.
a financial decision.
Yeah,
Well, it is.
it is. It is.
They
But
come,
usually
yeah.
they say
Now,
yeah,
for me, every single time, for some reason,
really.
they kept saying to me, like, oh, they come for silly reasons, like, oh, you did not meet the target last month,
Yeah, whatever.
or, whatever.
Yeah,
You can
just
feel it's, you can feel it's
yes.
nonsense, but, you have to go with it. And you get like 1 month or 2 months. I think I got 2 months for the first one and second time, 2 months severance, pay severance, where in France they give you 6 months, or you have the benefits, like real benefits. So it was yeah. The last time, my gosh, the last time was so funny. I mean, I'm laughing now,
Yeah.
but the last time, so basically, I was working in PR for more than a year for a company. Actually, no, it wasn't PR. At least it was social media, so much more digital
Yeah.
position for the industry I wanted to get into. So I was pretty proud, but I was looking a lot for a long time for another opportunity. So I actually quit for the first time. I quit my job to for another position that I found for another company. So I was really proud of myself because I went through all of that, and literally a month later, I was made redundant. They called me on a call for me like a virtual meeting. I remember, and I know hit an hour before because pandemic just hit. An hour before, we used to have this call where everyone is having a virtual coffee all together, and you can like get on into a costume, like you get a hat or mustache, things like that. So everyone is just having fun and just laughing around at 9 a.m. I think it was a Friday, and I had like these silly hats and trying to imitate myself being a parrot. And then I saw a calendar invite saying, "Oh, you need to jump on this call after this one." I said, "Okay, sure." So I'm jumping on this call, and I see my manager and someone else, and I have this silly, smile and that silly heart, and she's like, "Oh, I can see on their faces something is wrong." So as soon as I saw their faces, I go, "Oh, it's coming." So I just laughed.
But did you know it was that?
When I saw their faces,
But only when you saw the faces, you
yeah,
just didn't know before.
no, I
Like
didn't know
nothing was said to you
nothing,
during the week or
nothing,
anything.
absolutely nothing.
But it was during the pandemic, so I guess
So yeah, that one for
they
that
had to
for
let
that it
go.
was actually it was linked to the pandemic. I was one of the newest hire. Pandemic hit. Marketing is one of the biggest spend that people stop spending into to save money. So I was working for Groupon, so obviously online community. Internet group, so yeah, they needed marketing. Marketing was big.
Yeah, of
So when clients are pulling back their marketing budgets, it's hard for them. So yeah, I got made redundant in the middle of the pandemic after I quit from another job a month ago. So yeah, that one. I don't know, for some reason I just laughed at that one, and that one opened doors for me because this is from that turning point that I got into tech.
Okay, it was from there. You see, so sometimes bad
Listen,
experience turns into a beautiful story.
those redundancies, they are turning points because they changed my life. I'm so happy that happened. It was a traumatic experience to go through because I adapted my ability and my confidence for my career. For sure, there were setbacks. However, they also opened doors. So
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
yeah,
That's really amazing. And what is one of the lessons that you've learned from all these
challenges.
challenges and yeah, corporate experiences?
I think for me, it was around the fact that it's complicated to say, but I would say if I try to explain it, it's all about working for your own brand. It's so important. Like the work that we did, for example, through the Best of Congo, or some work that I do for some charities, I slept on those skills. They really helped me, and they were not coming from a traditional corporate divisions,
Yeah,
but they were brilliant because I learned so much from it,
yeah,
and that prepared me for my career.
it did. Yeah,
So yeah, I wouldn't like. I learned a lot from that, and obviously being made redundant so many times led me to understand a bit better the corporate world, the way it works,
yeah,
how your personal brand is very important to try to build into it, and just stay into your identity as well because those setbacks just made me who I am. Now I'm open about this. I talk about this a lot in my company with my colleagues, and yeah, I have no regret. I think Another challenge actually that I didn't mention, but that was quite annoying for my career, is the fact that my hair didn't fit most of the time for some companies.
Here in the UK?
Yeah, here in the UK.
So you're saying that you moved from France to the UK
Yeah, for
hoping that
diversity.
for diversity, for diversity, and then you're here,
Yeah.
you apply for a job with your natural hair, and they're like, no, we can't take you because of your hair.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
exactly. Because
Wow.
I cannot romanticize the country. Racism is still here. Let's not romanticize it. Like
Okay.
it's still here. Just have a different. It has a different facet. There was a time where I did not get a job because my hair was not professional enough for it.
Would they tell you that it
Yeah.
was because of your hair?
No,
Really?
that's the thing. I didn't. No, that's the thing. And actually, maybe one something we can talk about later on. One thing that I learned moving to the UK is to learn the cultural codes, right? The Britishness language. Let's talk about this. Because in the French world, I tell you that, yeah, your hair is too bad. Like I don't like your hair.
The thing is, I don't really. I work with a lot of British people, so I don't want to go. I don't know if I'm free to go there because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about the British hypocrisy.
Yeah, because that's I had to learn over time that sometimes that my experience is that sometimes I was denied some work because of my hair. It took me a while to understand it.
But how did you know it was because of your hair then?
Yeah, I think this time, like if I think about one example, so I went for this big company. I was doing this interview, and I think it was a 3 stage or 4 stages interview. You know how interviews are quite long nowadays. And the first one, it went really well. I think I had braids. Let's talk about my hair. I had just normal braids. Second time, it went also perfectly. They loved it. I said, yeah, you need to do a presentation now for the first stage. In the meantime, this amazing festival happened in France. I forgot the name of that festival. I think it was Afropunk.
Okay.
So Afropunk happened, and Afropunk is all about black creativity,
Yeah.
art, etc. So I had a bit of fun, and it was summertime, right? It was around July. So I took my braids down, and I had my afro out, and I had some braids in the middle, like just like at the front. I had like two braids. I think I had braids here, or I think I had a braid like that. I think, and I put like I put a bed here, like a golden one, and then I had an afro. And so I went to this first stage of my interview. I am presenting. I think is going really well. I did a very good presentation. And then after that, I heard some feedback from the agency because I had to go through the agency for this company. And she was like, yeah, they really loved you. It was amazing, blah, blah, blah. However, they had some issues. Like I could hear on the phone, she was a bit uncomfortable. And when she asked me bluntly, by any chance, could you tell me what were you wearing that day? And I went into details into my outfits. It's like, oh, I had this, blue jacket, very like not blues. I had like a very long blue blouse with whatever, etc., etc. I was like, okay, yeah. What else? So I could tell she wanted to know more. So I was like, so I'm thinking, because yeah, and then nothing
the
dear.
hair,
And the
sis, it's
hair,
the
I had
hair.
my hair was out. So okay, no. I'm just asking because yeah, I think one feedback that I got from the company is that how they were a bit concerned about how maybe your attire was not professional enough. My attire was not professional enough. So girl, you get it. And also because that happened several times. I had more situations where people would just comment on my hair, like, oh, I'll get into a job, and like, oh, you changed your hair. Why did you change your hair? Last time you had long straight hair. I prefer that. I was more beautiful.
This is something they still say till this day.
Yeah, they still do it. So, but I was just joining the dots over time. And I was like, oh yeah, I keep getting those commentary about my hair in the professional settings. So that's how I could now easily say, okay, yeah, it was because of my hair.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I just don't know how in 2025 people will still comment my hair. Like, you should know it by now. You should know. When you see me with long hair and tomorrow with short hair, don't ask any questions. I'm just black.
Yeah,
I'm just a black woman. This is how
definitely. But yeah, back in the day, maybe it still happened nowadays. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. But at least if I was mastering, I had several situations, unfortunately, where I got comments about my hair, and it was just challenging because I was just being myself. I'm being in a company in a country where I'm being told that communities are being celebrated. I'm embracing that to the point that my hair became something big for me. Like I would just play around. I'm very creative, so my hair was my playground basically. So to get this type of feedback in a professional settings was quite challenging and annoying, but it didn't stop me.
How did you how do you cope with your creative? I guess now with your job,
Hmm.
sorry, I guess now with your job, you can do both. But then when you were in such a corporate setting, when you were working for
Yeah.
PR and stuff, how would you say you managed your to still be
Mm.
creative and still have this your 9 to 5 where you
Yeah. I guess I did not, and that's why I changed my
mm,
sort
the
of changed my
career?
industry, my career, because something that is too corporate doesn't really work for me.
Okay.
I'm very creative, and sometimes I feel very frustrated at work if I'm not able to embrace or infuse my creativity into the work that I do. But don't get me wrong, creativity has a different type of shape in some settings. Like working from agency was for me quite creative because when you work for an agency, you're quite independent. You have different clients, different accounts or whatever, but you're quite independent. So you're quite creative to think about how you want to tackle some of these clients. So that's how I will sometimes try to find some creativity in my nine to
Yeah,
five. Do you
because
see
you're
what I mean?
able to
Yeah,
express it through the way you delivered like stuff to
exactly. For what
clients.
I
Okay.
deliver, the way I work, like when if you work for a company, usually you don't have that type of freedom. But depending on the role that obviously that you have. So that's how I was trying to find some creativity in my work. And when I couldn't find it because it was still quite restricted, this is where I would volunteer a lot. Me volunteering for Revive Congo for a charity where I'm trying to empower young kids in Congo, or for other type of initiatives around Congo. Basically, it was my way of being creative. I would create content. Traveling was my thing. So whenever I would travel, I go much into I would very deep into traveling. Like I will put together a proper deck where you can see what other activities to be planned, etc. Yeah, I do that.
Oh, nice. So you're
So
the trip organizer.
yeah, I'm the trip organizer. If you want to trip with me, like I can set it up, set this up. Yeah, that was my way to find my way to remain creative in settings that could be sometimes too corporate. And then, yeah, obviously, our LinkedIn is quite good because I definitely, like I say, I'm embracing that creativity in this role, which is it's something I learned over time. It's critical. If I don't have that, yeah, I can't cope.
Yeah, it does have a little bit. What was I gonna say? You mentioned at the beginning. You said that you teach people, if I remember correctly, that you teach people how to um.
More embrace my personal brand on LinkedIn.
There you go.
Yeah.
The word that I had in my mind was brand, but I
Uh,
was just trying to find a way to formulate a sentence. So how to like be out there
yeah.
and to represent like their own brand, I guess branding,
Yeah.
by themselves. First of all, there's something I want to say about branding.
Hmm.
I think it's a new word. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
word like it's a very recent word. Because I only knew this word just recently with a friend of mine who's into branding as well.
Okay.
And can you just like kind of like explain what branding is and why it's so important for us?
Yeah, that's a good question. More specifically, personal brand, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
personal brand. Yeah,
personal
no, yeah,
brand. Um,
because that's what you
mm,
do, right? The coaching.
yeah,
That's
it's about yeah, it's
it's
around
part of
yeah,
what you
it's around
do.
personal brand. Not just about that, because like if I work with the CEO of let's say Morrison's, I'm not gonna talk really about personal brands. But it's how like that's why it's a buzzword nowadays. Let's
Yeah,
say
it
it
is.
it is a buzzword. I'm not a huge fan of that word. Like I would not say I'm not a personal brand coach, for
Yeah,
example. I never say
you
something
know
like
that they're
that.
awesome.
Hmm?
They're awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, some
know.
people are personal
Yeah,
branding
personal.
coach, whatever.
Nothing against them.
Yeah, no,
Nothing at
whatever.
all. It's just a buzzword. So that's I think it always goes back to content. That's I think content is always a better word, or creator or community, etc. But personal brand is very important because I've seen it through my work. I've seen how people they they work has changed because of how they show up online. What I mean by that is that let's talk about the hair industry because we talk about hair. uh, there's so many type of different, hairstylists or well, people who just work in that industry. Why would you go for that hairstylist compared to the other one? Maybe hairstylist is not a good actual example. Hold on. let me go for let me go for finance personal, yeah, finance coach. Okay,
Okay.
let's go for finance. I will explain why actually in a
Okay.
bit. Um, so let's say you want to have a financial advisor, right? There are so
Mm-hmm.
many of them nowadays. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure want to count your bills,
Mm-hmm.
figure out how much you're making right now, how much you
Mm-hmm.
want more, etc., etc. Some and or if you want to buy your house, it's best for you to go through a financial advisor who can help you
Mm-hmm.
out. How do you start? Where do you go to? Let's say you want a black person or an Indian. Well, yeah, let's say black person. Okay, but there are so many black people who can be
What
financial
finance
advisor,
roles? Yeah.
right? So what makes you pick Daniel compared to Samuel?
Mm.
Sometimes the personal brand, this is how that will make you as a consumer go for Daniel rather than Samuel, because Daniel will be sharing content on LinkedIn about finance. And the content he will be sharing, it can be sometimes something around, obviously, we'll talk about his services, but also he shares his journey. He talk about how he used to be in that content for a very long time, working for the one of the biggest working for EY, for example.
Yeah.
And then he changed his mind because he felt like it doesn't align with his mission to properly help people with their finances. And people nowadays want actually to buy a house. It's one of the biggest priorities for people in their lives. But he felt like he was off when he was doing that through accounting for a EY company. So having his own brand, his own business was his way to get much more closer to that community and help that community. So he's sharing his story,
Right.
his career journey, all of that, on top of sharing his services. This is what we call the personal brand.
Yeah.
It's the storytelling of your business, whether it being, services or products, the storytelling
Okay.
around that. And that storytelling touched me a bit more because I'm like, oh, maybe I was someone who used to work for EY. I can relate to Daniel a bit more now because he's telling me about that story.
Yeah.
When I said Daniel and Samuel. Samuel didn't say anything. Samuel's like, just buy my services. I'm available. It's 250 for an hour. It's just blunt, traditional
Just
commercial.
information.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is very important, and you're actually dropping some gems here about yeah. So just being out there and telling your stories. I'm a bit advocate of telling your stories because I believe that and we said it in another podcast as well, is I actually do believe that our stories are not for ourselves. The things we live, the things we go through is not necessarily just for us, it's also to bless or to like encourage other people.
Yeah.
And I love what how you gave that example of that financial coach that just like shares his stories, shares his journey, and that's how people are attracted to him. And I what do you think about that actually? Do you think that personal branding is only for a certain audience? Because for example, when I speak to other people who are let's take for example the CEO of Morrison's, just because you mentioned him, would you think that a person like him would also be interested in personal branding?
Yes.
Or how is it possible? Is it like, my question is, how can someone that has a very serious job, understanding, okay, like CEO of something or someone that's very busy, how would personal branding be important for them?
It will be important because what happened with the scandal of astronomer.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Let's get into it.
yeah.
You know what?
Was that at the Coldplay concert?
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
corporate concert, I think it was. Yeah, I think the name of the company was Astronomer.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because and that's something that a lot of executives I work with a lot of executives from global companies, and sometimes they sit into their comfort zone thinking, I'm the CEO of XYZ company, that's enough. That's enough.
Huh.
It's not enough.
Okay.
um it's not enough. You need to tell a story as well. Maybe that's why I don't like the word personal brand, because the buzzwords sometimes people attach this just to content creators or the
Yeah,
you see what
because
I mean,
there is a thin line. It's true
superficial. Yeah.
because it's true. It's good to call it personal branding, whatever. But it's as you said, like you have to be more precise. Like you have to say it in details. It's there's content creation and there is personal branding, I
Yeah,
guess.
yes, yeah,
And there's two different things because
yeah,
in both cases you do share stories, kind of.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
the
when
goal
you
is different.
content creation is one element for you to build your personal brand. Your personal brand can be as well about your outfits. There's one girl that I know a lot on social media who basically when she goes to networking events, she always have very colorful outfits.
Close. Okay.
uh,
Okay.
there's a guy actually now, even there's someone else who always has a hat every time he goes to a speaking opportunity, he has his hat. And now it's part of his brand. Everyone, when they think about him, they think about this guy, that influential who will have this huge hat. Sorry. So content creation is just one element of personal brand, but it has to be something else. It has to be a lot of things. And I think online, basically, that's why we call it personal brand, because online it's usually things will around you, sharing content, your story, blah blah blah. But offline, it can be through clothes, or it could be through other elements. It's a package. It all goes together. So when executive of big companies are not doing that work, they are sleeping on a huge opportunity here to really bid into that human touch, humanization with
It's a
their
way of
audience.
being close to your people.
Yes, it
By
is.
sharing your stories and
Yeah,
being vulnerable.
it is. You want people to reflect to you a bit more. You want people to choose you, because we are in a world of over information.
Yeah.
It's just everything is available. We have everything we want. So what makes you pick that person, that service compared to the other one? It's the personal brand. It's the story they're sharing to you, but maybe you think like, actually, I can relate to that person a bit more. Or maybe actually I can't connect with that story.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not buying from this brand, because I don't. We don't have the same vision. We don't have the same values. It's about the mission.
Interesting. That's so good. So good. Thanks for sharing all of that. Yeah. Okay. So, moving on. I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to, but I had just a few more questions. Just one of them is, how do you stay motivated when when everything is slow? So you talked about all your challenges, you talked about your journey and everything, but what keeps you going? That's my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, God is a center of everything to me. Definitely. If things are not aligning with the mission that He has placed for me on this earth, then I feel sidetracked and just stop. But I remain human, and sometimes with especially in London, the life being so fast paced here, I easily get in terms of losing motivation. So what usually happens me is going on top of going back to to God, sorry, travel is key in my life. Just like traveling, yeah. I mean, everyone knows I do not stay more than 3 months in London in a row. Never. I mean, 3 months is not. I think this year I did 2 months max. I try as much as I can. Thank you, Lord, to get out of my comfort zone. Just even and traveling, this is what it brings to me. And I'm not talking about just going to the Bahamas every single month. Like, I wish I could, but no, it's not the case. But just changing the scenery really helps, and that's what travel does to me. Stepping out and looking at, taking some step back to look at what I do and what matters most is just the word. The word matters much more. So you need to take a step back, because you can easily get just caught up in day-to-day life. So spiritually speaking, you can do that with God, and the way you grant that is when you're getting out of the country, and especially when you go to Congo. Whenever I go to Congo, oh my gosh, when I go back to Africa, yes, I come back with tears. I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I come back with tears.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I go over and I'm like, this matters so much more.
Yeah.
This is
Would you live there?
amazing.
Would you move to Africa?
Oh, yes.
I think you should go and teach the younger generation.
Yeah, I'm doing a couple of things with Congo and IT, trying to really teach the young people to learn more skills online, because it's so important. But yeah, oh, definitely, yeah, I love it. Whenever I go back, but the thing, at first when I would go back to Congo, I'll be like, oh, what I do is not important. Like, this is what I should be doing here. This is how I used to take it, and then I'm like, actually no. What I'm doing can connect to that.
Yeah,
I can change people's lives as well. And I've seen it with the DM that I receive every New Year's from members saying to me, you had me show up more on the platform, which unlocks more opportunities for me. I get paid speaking into events, or I get people who are DM me and want my services. I'm getting more clients.
Mentor me, please.
So no, it does help with that, and just with representation, as I said earlier, one of the biggest moments that hit me was when I did an event with Black women in the LinkedIn office, designed to help Black women to get the right mindset to show up more online and offline. And I got, after a masterclass, a young Congolese woman came to me and said, thank you so much for being in this space, in this role. It has inspired me a lot. and this is the type of food I can share to my grandparents.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference. So yeah, being when I go back to this type of feedback I've had over time, when I go back to God, when I travel,
Yeah.
these three elements
Keeps you going.
keeps me going.
Keeps you
Yeah.
grounded. Wow, thank you. And also, what is something you would say to your daughter?
Wow. I would say a lot of things to my daughter. I would say,
What?
first of all, come here. Come. I'm ready to welcome you.
Oh, baby, waiting for you. Mommy's waiting.
um, It's a great question.
What piece of like encouragement, like the latest?
Yeah. I
Or
don't know why this is
advice?
getting me teary. I think it's because, first of all, I can't wait to have the conversation with her.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be okay. She's going to be brilliant. She's smart. Just, you know, trust your intuition. That's something very important because it has helped me. Oh, I think one thing came to my mind actually. The biggest lesson I would say to her is the fact that she needs to trust the season.
Trust the
I
season.
always believe in seasons. When I was made redundant, it felt like it was the end of the world. It was okay. It was the end of the world. It was horrible, but it was a season where my career would not thrive. But at that time, other things would thrive in my life. So I'm a strong believer in seasons. Things comes when they need to come.
Yeah.
Things go away when they need to go away.
Go away. Yeah.
So if something isn't working right now, don't force it.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. It's just not the season. But then another season will come when it will be you thriving into your career or something else. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm a firm believer of seasons as well. Is if it's not everything, like the Bible says, like everything will work out for my good. If it's not now, it's going to be at some point. But trust the season and trust in God during that season. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. We're ending the interview with emotional with an emotional quote or an emotional time. But thank you so much for saying yes to Potentia. Thank you. Actually, sorry, this is for the beginning. It's a question that I was supposed to ask in the beginning, but
Oh.
I didn't. Why did you say yes to Potentia?
Oh my gosh. Why did I say yes to Potentia? First of all, because it's you. I mean, no, because it's you. I loved your work. I remember when you told me about Potentia. Oh, we had a nice brainstorming session.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. You actually, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, why am I part of it? I was supposed to be behind the scenes, just doing the brainstorming. This is what I always do, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good to see though. I've heard about the project for a while. I've heard about the process coming together basically.
Yeah,
So
you
to
did.
see it thrive, this is good. This is very inspiring, very interesting. So that's what I wanted to be part of it. Just I really wanted to celebrate you and the space that you're giving, you're creating. As you said earlier, storytelling, or maybe later on. Let me say it again.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
As you
He's
said,
the one
storytelling is very important. Giving space to tell your stories is important, and something that I don't do a lot because the type of work that I do is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm the quiet architect. I am the what's the word? Marraine. Sorry, we say no French.
Godmother.
Thank you, godmother. Godmother. That's the nicknames of my content creators. Call me the godmother of content creators. I like to do behind the scenes. However, so I help people to be visible, but I'm not visible myself. So I'm like, you know what? I need to be a bit more visible because I need to. Just the feedback I've been hearing was interesting. So I thought, okay, you're giving me a space to be visible and share my story, because hopefully I see like I'm not Michelle Obama, but I'm making some waves. And if it can help other people to make those waves, yeah, I want to open the doors and make it happen. So thank you.
Thank you. Voila, this is the end. Thank you so much, Priscilla. And I'll see you again next year.
Yeah.
We'll do this again, and then you'll be in a different place. And your daughter will probably be there. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Aline.
Thank you.